Welcome to the channel. Welcome to DS Trucks. My name's Sean. Thank you for watching the video. And in this video, I want to talk about all the features on our 2018 F-150 that we use and all the things that we don't use. It's been almost 3 years with the truck. We've got about 27,000 miles now on the truck. And when I ordered it with mostly everything I could get. The only things that I did not get are the power running boards and the tailgate step. Maybe a few other little things, but I want to talk about what I use and what I don't use, and how Ford gets you with some of the things that are kind of gimmicks. But I want to start now from the outside first. Now, features that I think are useful: the LED lights. They're really bright. They're really easy on the eyes at night, and the look is really aggressive. And I really do feel like that is a good thing to get. Only drawback to ordering the LED lights is Ford really knows how to get you, because if you want the LED lights, you have to get the highest level trim package. And even now with the 2021, the 2020 Super Duties, the 2021 probably, but the 2020s right now, it used to be you can order the LED lights with any trim level, but now in the 2020s you have to have the Lariat Ultimate package, which is a $3,000 package, in order to spend another $1,000 in order to get the LED headlights. So they really know how to get you, because they know a lot of people want those LED headlights, so they're packaging it with a lot of other extra features. And then the F-150 is no exception. If you want LED headlights, you need a $7,000 trim package. So the LED headlights are great, but they get you into this really expensive package. But like I said, LEDs are great. I love the look of the LEDs on the rear of the truck. The tail lights look really good with the LEDs, really aggressive, and they're just phenomenal. So LEDs. One thing I didn't get is the power running boards, and every time I get into a truck with power running boards, they seem like they reach a little bit lower and they're a little bit nicer, but we got standard running boards here. Now, inside the truck, bear with me, I got the AC blasting here, but inside the truck, you see we have our satellite radio, and some of the features in here that we use is this 360-degree camera. It's really useful for just parking in general. Now the side cameras, they're cool, but really it's the front-facing camera that's really useful to have. So when you're pulling up stuff, obviously you can creep right up next to other vehicles, and if you're parking in front of like a house with a trailer, you can really make use of every inch, because with this front-facing camera you can pull up to the edge of a curb, you can make sure nothing's in front of you. And the 360, the forward-facing, now the side cameras, they're just cool, but I haven't really used them too much. But there is a drawback. Once you get the 360, when you put it in reverse, there's reverse, you don't get the full camera. You get a smaller camera, and then you get this on the side. That's not as useful, but it is cool to have. It is pretty neat, nifty, but that's pretty much it. The four-wheel drive auto, that's a big one. That's something that I use a lot. It makes four-wheel drive a lot easier to use. No binding. And then even four-wheel high is different on this truck. It really doesn't bind up that much. So that's a useful feature. Push button start, great feature. Love getting in and out and just having the push button start available. Just you leave it running. Once it's running, when you get inside of the vehicle, the shifter does not operate if the key is not in the vehicle. So if you leave it running, you run into a store, it's gonna honk at you, but the shifter won't shift and the vehicle won't drive unless the key is inside of it. Another great feature, memory seats. Definitely love that. I got 3 settings, one for my wife, one for me, and one for when I'm taking care of business. That's number 3. And once you hit that, the chair pretty much reclines all the way back, and it just kind of lays back, so that way I can kind of relax. Maybe I'm editing the video, maybe I'm taking care of some invoicing, whatever. So it's kind of nice to have. And there's a lot of things here that really became gimmicky for me, or not that useful. Number 1, the garage door assist never worked for me, and it could be because my garage door is so old, but just it never would program. Never worked. The automatic wiper blades. So it has a system where you can leave it on and it'll sense how much rain is on the window, and really you could leave it at the lowest setting here, and then whenever there would be a little bit of moisture on the glass, it would kind of wipe it. But after a while, after a couple of years, it just didn't work that good. You know, at first it was great, it seemed to work perfect, but now where I'm at in the truck at 27,000 miles, I don't know, I kind of turned it off. It just didn't seem like it was working that great. It seemed like it was kind of randomly wiping off the window, so I turned it off, and I'm just using the standard wiper mode without all the fancy automatic. The Bang & Olufsen sound system is great, but honestly, from this truck getting in my XL, I'm not a huge sound nut or a sound file or whatever you call it, but I really don't care if it's in this truck or the 250, which is an XL. They both sound good enough in my opinion. Yeah, there's a subwoofer, but it's not a big deal. Like, I'm not gonna jump in this truck for the stereo system. It doesn't really do anything for me. I don't feel it's all that great. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it sounds good, but it sounds just as good as any other vehicle. One thing that really it gets turned off a lot is lane keeping. Lane keep stays turned off because it just feels weird when you're driving on the highway with lane keep on. It's kind of feels like it's nudging you all the time, nudging you around on the road. It was cool at first, but as I was driving, I really had to think about it. Turned it on, drove a while, turned it off, drove a while, and it makes you kind of drive all over the road. I think my experience feels like I'm driving all over the road when it's turned on, and it's just easier to drive with it off. It also constantly reminds me to put my hands on the steering wheel. It just wants me to do this every once in a while to let it know that I'm still holding on to the steering wheel, so it's kind of annoying in my opinion. So, you know, if you're on the fence about a truck and you're worried about lane keep, don't worry about lane keep. It's not something that you really need. Park assist does work well if you got to do a lot of parallel parking. All this stuff, I believe, comes in a package where you get lane keeping, you get parallel parking, you get I want to say you get the 360 camera as well. It's all in one package, and it's cool for the parking, it's cool for the 360 camera, but the lane keeping itself is just not, we're not there yet with lane keep on the F-150s, I don't think. You know, it's cool just to show off, but it ultimately ends up being turned off. The cooled seats, that's a feature that I use. The sunroof, I use the sunroof quite a bit. I'm wondering if it lets in extra heat. You know, if it lets in extra heat into the vehicle, it's probably a good idea if you have a sunroof to go ahead and tint it so all the heat doesn't come in. But sunroof is great. It did break, but it did get fixed, so it is what it is. So yeah, sunroof is great. But yeah, everything, not every feature gets used. You know, you get these packages, they're really expensive, and if you're on the fence about it, honestly, when I drive an XL, it's not a big deal. You know, I don't have all this stuff, but it's still a great truck. This truck, you know, it's my personal daily truck, so it has a little bit more features, but at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff ends up getting turned off. Dual climate is one of those things that's really nice. So when my wife's in here, she wants her temperature one way, and then, you know, she might want it warmer or whatever. The power inverters are nice. I wish they had a little bit more power, and it doesn't charge my Milwaukee tools, but they're still nice to have. As you see, guys, back here, I got a full setup of tools, battery powered tools, and the inverters do not seem to want to charge these battery powered tools. So anyway, guys, that's it for the video. I know I've probably done something like this in the past, but I just want to do it again as we're crossing over almost 28,000 miles here. So I wanted to kind of redo this video just in case you're in the market for one of these trucks and you're kind of curious about what features are good and what features are not so good or not that important. Overall, I love the truck. Best truck I've ever had, and it's been good to me. So comment below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and hope to see you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.